All right, let's get into it.
Let's get into it.
Can't waste any time. We got lots of things to cover.
Oh, we have so many things to talk about.
All the things.
It's been a couple weeks since we've last recorded. Brian, how are you, sir?
I'm all right. And yourself?
I'm doing good.
We need first.
How about a beer?
And also, welcome to Poor Decisions, a podcast. Crash.
Always in progress.
Coming off of our week off. Did you have a good week off, Brian?
I can't complain, really.
Yeah.
Except for that I had a major OLD moment.
Oh, no. What happened?
I was having a coughing fit, because I have that chronic cough.
Yeah.
And I was having a coughing fit Saturday. And then all of a sudden, I felt a rib crack.
Seriously?
Yeah.
Whoa.
It sucked. I was in pain all day Saturday.
How are you feeling now?
I went to the chiropractor today, so I'm feeling a lot better.
They get you all squared off or whatever?
Readjusted.
Yeah,
it still hurts. I still feel it.
Yeah.
I just suffered through it on Saturday.
God damn, dude.
And yesterday we just stayed at home, and I just pretty much sat on the chair all day with
just try to relax
with a heating pad. Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, there was times where I was feeling nauseous.
God damn, man.
Because of I was just in so much pain.
Well, if it makes you feel any better, my whole arm still hurts from falling a few weeks ago.
Really?
Yeah. And it also still hurts from the What Barrels Brew Day when my arm was all bruised up from the when Gina brought me lunch and you're like, what's up with your forearm, bro? I'm just like, oh, that's from me trying to just stir the mash.
Oh,
and like
it's so thick.
Well, yeah, like my only leverage was putting my arm on the manhole, and I just feel like
I've done that
every like every 15 or 20 minutes I just get like a throb of pain in my forearm. But my elbow I definitely bruised a bone on that fall.
Probably deep bone bruised in.
Yeah, it does not feel good.
Especially I imagine right on the elbow too.
Yeah, it absorbed all of that fall.
I mean, luckily I didn't take a fall during that whole time, but I haven't been to the chiropractor in quite several months either.
Yeah. So what are we drinking, Brian?
Saturday, part of Jen and I's adventures is...
I saw you guys went to BLVD.
Yeah, we went to Boulevard. And this one they didn't have on tap. But this one I tried to get before and literally got it home and then opened my door and it fell
is that
out.
the one that... Yeah, I remember that. Yeah.
So it's an Imperial Sour with peach rings and Charmoy.
Oh, yeah. They had this... when the last time it was like Nolan, Nigel, and myself...
Yeah, went
there, and they had that on tap.
They didn't have it on tap this time.
Yeah. I think Nigel had it, and I had a little sip of it.
Yeah.
It's pretty good.
I mean, the little bit that I got to try that was still left in the bottle was tasty, but now I get to try a whole bottle of it.
Well,
so,
cheers, sir.
All right, and I do have to say, otherwise I know Jen's going to let me have it. I had to apologize to Lily because the said mess towards the end of the last podcast, I think I determined was actually Zeke.
Oh, sorry, Lily.
Yeah. So,
sorry to throw you under the bus.
Yeah, force of habit. And once I saw it, I'm just like, maybe that seems bigger than a Lily.
Yeah, maybe that was an old man poop.
Yeah. Well, I mean, in both of their defenses, we had been dealing with some serious coldness.
Yeah.
And so getting dogs to go out sometimes when it's cold
tough.
is hard to do. Yeah.
Yeah.
Like Zeke, he's going out and just peeing on the patio.
Yeah, we Daisy has like these little they're like booties.
Uh-huh.
So we put those on and then we put like a sweater on her.
Yeah.
And like even with those on, she just goes in, does her business and then like right back to the door. Doesn't like
nope, not fucking around.
Yeah, doesn't pitter patter or anything.
Pitter patter, let's get after. All right, this smells good.
It does. It smells very peachy.
Yeah.
You said it was some sort of peach candy?
Imperial Sour with peach rings and, is that Charmoy? Chamoy?
Chamoy?
Chamoy!
Chamoy! Chamon!
Chamon!
Oh.
That's good. I feel like I'm getting a little bit of the oxidation.
It is.
Though.
Yeah, it's a little oxidized. That is a killer summer beer.
It says please enjoy by May of 2025 though.
Enjoy a little bit earlier than that, I would say.
Yeah, I think if you're
It's got a bit of that like
and maybe
wet
I just
cardboard
maybe I just
like
got
characteristic on it.
bad bottle. I don't know.
It's still good.
No, it's still got a great flavor. Yeah.
What's the ABV on that?
8.
Nice.
Which I mean, Imperial sour, so that's
it's not going to be like
that's solid.
14%.
No, I mean, luckily. This is episode 53.
Wow,
we've done it.
We're almost at a year.
Yeah, this one will actually come out on the 31st.
What's going to be our yearly our anniversary podcast?
That is a good question. We should figure this out.
Yeah, we should.
We had talked about maybe trying to do like some whiskey stuff.
Oh, that'd be fun.
Yeah, because that'll technically be episode 54 because we started off by releasing 2 episodes.
Yeah.
So yeah,
that's fucking next week then.
Yeah.
Goddamn.
The next episode.
Hey.
Are we recording 2 today?
I don't know. I think I have time for a longer one today.
Okay.
Just because getting back in town and trying to.
Yeah, and that's why I say we got to get. That's why
situated.
I started it off with we got to get after it.
Yeah.
Because we got lots of things to discuss.
We have a lot to discuss. Where do we want to start off?
Do we want to start with sports or we want to start with our week off?
Let's start off with. I don't know. It's a toss-up.
Hey, you know what? For any good toss-up,
I feel like.
Hey Siri, flip a coin. Heads is sports. It's heads.
Heads of sports.
Heads of sports. All right.
Man, what a weekend of football.
Yes, it was.
Wow.
Between the 2 major games.
Yeah.
I mean, and even then, like, we actually had the, because we didn't get to talk about the previous games, but I mean, that's obviously.
That's all.
Past.
Yeah, that's all done.
In the past now, but like that includes even the college,
Lions getting. Oh yeah.
The college championship.
Yeah, the Buckeyes.
Yeah.
Fucking making a mess all over Notre Dame.
That game pretty much went the way I expected it to.
Yeah.
I was glad that Notre Dame made it.
Yeah.
But that game pretty much went the way I expected it to.
Did you see the video after the game of the woman trying to like navigate the golf cart through?
Yes.
with
she
Ryan
Austin Powers.
Yeah,
Austin
she did.
Powers
Yeah.
it. And then they were trying to literally they just got out and walked. I'm like, why aren't they walking anyway?
They crashed right into the wall, and that thing it killed that thing.
Mm-hmm.
Like it died.
Probably just a cable came loose or something.
It is DED dead.
Yeah. But yeah, then this past weekend we had the AFC and NFC
championship games, man,
and those were both.
They were. The
Eagles game went the way I expected it to.
I thought that the Commanders would have put up a bit more of a fight, but they have no experience.
No.
In the postseason.
I mean, and, off of the fumbles, the Eagles
and
capitalized
what was
on
like 3 back-to-back false starts on the defense or something, like in the red zone, like on the 1
well, that's
yard
because
line?
that one dude, he was trying to time it.
He was trying to
time the line
to get the tush push.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Which, I mean, smart play, but then
like, come on, man.
They just kept up, literally to the point where the refs were going to be like, if it happens again, we're just going to give them the points.
Yeah.
Which is a rule.
Yeah.
That's never been used, and apparently
which is wild.
They instilled it in like the 50s.
That's such a crazy rule.
Yeah.
And the fact that we almost saw it happen.
Mm-hmm.
Like, I get it, like Kansas City was able to contain Josh Allen because they knew that he always goes to the left on those plays.
Yeah. Well, and I was listening to Cowherd a little bit today too, and he was saying that the tush push is better suited for smaller quarterbacks.
Yeah.
Like
not for
Hurts.
someone who's like 6'7", 280.
Yes. Because it's going to be easier for the Chiefs defense to then push you back over.
Yeah.
And he went high on that too.
He did.
He shouldn't have gone so high. He probably would have gotten a better spot if he had not gone so high to where you could see the football from one of the angles.
There was, in that Chiefs game, that one contested catch where they ended up giving the ball to Kansas City when you could see the ball clearly hit the ground.
Yeah,
that was a bad call.
But then it always goes both ways.
It does.
There's bad
does.
calls every other.
I know.
I mean, and to the point where everybody's like, "Oh, the Chiefs always get these calls."
No, they don't.
They get calls, yes, but no more or less than anybody else. It's just everybody thinks it's the Chiefs because they are on prime time more.
Well, weren't they like one of the most penalized teams this year too?
Not this year, but in years past they have. So actually, there's a couple things I've saved. So roughing the passer calls per 100 pass attempts. So, basically every 2 games.
Yeah.
3 games, depending on how much you pass. Mahomes had a 636 percentage. The next highest was Russell Wilson with 710. Baker Mayfield was 730. Kirk Cousins was 743. Deshaun Watson had a 781. So right now we're at 1.5 higher.
Yeah.
Jared Goff had a 781. You want to take a guess on what Josh Allen's was?
80.
936.
Wow.
And it's a tracked stat that you can see easily. Right?
No, that was a wild game, man.
I mean, that game pretty much went the way I expected it to go as well.
What's funny is, beforehand, I've got my group chat with my brother and my buddy Keith. The three of us being Bears fans. We just love football.
Yeah.
And we're all just like, predictions for the game. I said 30-27. And ended up being 32-29. I'm like, well, at least I got the spread.
Yeah.
Like,
well, and then I know opening spread was 1.5.
Yeah.
At one point, I've been trying to.
Well,
I was tracking it a little bit more.
Yeah.
And literally 30 minutes before game time, it had gotten up to.
It had moved again.
It had gotten up to 2.5. I'm like, that means that people are betting on the Chiefs.
They are
to cover that spread.
And
so Vegas starts spreading it further out.
Yeah.
And then I think by game time, it had dropped back down to 1.
Wow. Well, I'm glad I didn't take the spread, but I don't know what the over under was.
They hit the over.
Wow.
Because it was 48 or 49.
I was gonna say I feel like that could have been a 57-point game easily.
Oh yeah. Well, I mean on the over under aspect, the Eagles hit the over by themselves.
Yeah.
So the
God damn, what they scored 50 some odd points?
54. So the over under for the Chiefs Bills games at game time was 49.5.
I think the Chiefs have their work cut out for them just alone with Saquon.
That's my concern with Saquon.
They cannot stop the run.
Now, that was one of the other things Cowherd was talking about, and I agree with him on this. And I've been very vocal about not being a fan of Colin Cowherd for a little while now, because he says a lot of outlandish things, basically to get people riled up.
Well, at least he wasn't part of that lawsuit, that.
Yeah, and I that. To me, he's always been a very company-oriented person.
Absolutely.
He's just also kind of
kind of a dick.
He's a shock jock of sports, if you will.
Yeah. He's like a mad dog with a bigger, media presence, I guess.
Yeah. And so he was talking about in the middle of the game, in the middle of the Eagles-Commanders game, he knew. He's like, we pretty much already knew that it was going to be the Eagles, clear, without a doubt.
Yeah.
And his thought that he said was that either the Bills they're going to have heartbreak regardless, whether it's the AFC game or the Super Bowl. Because there's no way. He's like, I think the Chiefs match up better to the Eagles than the Bills do to the Eagles. He's like, if the Bills were to play the Eagles, it would have been even worse.
Yeah.
The Eagles-Commanders game, the over-under on that at game time was 47.5.
Wow.
And Philadelphia had 55.
Alone.
Had 55 points.
That's crazy, man.
And I had actually pulled it up, and some of these, we can't get onto the betting sites yet, or apps, because it's not legal in Missouri yet.
Yeah.
But there's one site I was able to check where it was it won't allow you to bet without logging in, but
but you can still see,
and literally the line had moved to where at game time the line had gone to 6.5 in favor of the Eagles, and it had jumped up to I think 13 or something like that.
Wow.
And they still covered it.
Wow. Yeah, I was at one point I saw it was a 9 or 12 point lead in favor of the Eagles. I'm like, well, I mean, the game isn't completely out of hand.
Yeah.
And then the last time I checked, I'm like, this game is out of hand.
I mean, and I think the Commanders, besides their flaws, did well.
Oh, I mean, no one expected this season to happen for them.
Because, I mean, can you imagine if the Commanders were playing the Bills in the same aspect of how the Bills played and how the Commanders played? That probably would have been a great game.
Yeah, I think that would have been a down to the wire 3-point game, potentially into overtime.
Yeah.
Even then, I just, man.
And I think that's why the Chiefs were trying to make sure they finished that game out, is because they didn't want it to go to overtime, because statistically speaking, it's gonna eventually come up in the other team's favor.
Yeah, well, like we were watching the game, and I'm just like, man, I understand, when Buffalo scored that last touchdown, like you want to tie it up. Don't go for the lead because the game is not on the line yet.
That was smart on the Chiefs that they stopped that freaking 2-point.
They had to. But then it was just like, oh man, are they going to, if they don't convert, it was like 3rd and 9.
Yeah.
And, the Bills still had one timeout left. And it was like a minute and a half left on the clock or something.
Oh, yeah.
Like they have to convert.
And they converted.
And I'm just like, wow,
that's game.
Yeah. That was a great game to watch, man. Like, regardless of what people say about referees and blah, blah, blah.
All the referees have issues.
Yeah.
It's like
there's never going to be a perfectly called game, ever.
And the Chiefs don't ever get, okay, they've had some of the same crews, but they don't consistently get the same crew.
Well, and at one point it was like, there were clearly like penalties called on the Bills that were good calls.
Yeah.
Like, yes, that should have been called as a as a hold or a DPI.
And there was one that was missed though too, like the whole face mask.
Yeah.
Completely missed. And people are like, oh, that doesn't count. That's not a face mask. I'm like, last time I checked, a face mask is a face mask. It doesn't matter.
Well, and like, that last was that 4-and-1 attempt that Josh Allen tried to get.
Yeah.
And I'm just like, you know what? Like, yeah, it looks like he potentially got the ball over the line.
But they specified that it doesn't necessarily. It's where the ball stops.
Exactly. And
theoretically, you could run past the line and then come back.
Yeah.
And if you get stopped.
And he got stopped behind the line.
Yeah. He pushed past the line, but it's not the end zone. Well, it's a down marker.
Yeah. And they showed that one, like the one angle, and like, you just see like Chris Jones's back, and you can't see like where the ball is at all. And I'm just like, good for Chris Jones to like get in the way of the camera.
Chiefs, and this is one of those things I was saying a couple weeks ago. It's like the Chiefs, they've got to a point where they don't focus on just trying to win the games. They are able to start focusing on, and this is another thing I've gotten from Cowherd. Like, he does have some good takes.
Yeah.
I just don't like a lot of his when he says the outlandish things, which seems to be more frequent. Those are the ones that I always end up seeing.
Yeah.
When you listen to the whole show as a whole is a lot better than all the outtakes that you get on social media where they're putting out all the clickbait things, obviously. Another stat I came across, and actually they end up ruining it, this one, was that there's been 280 turnovers in NFL since week 12. The Chiefs had committed 0 of them because the Chiefs, like, everybody was talking about how bad Mahomes was in the beginning of the season because he kept throwing interceptions.
He did not look good.
He had like a 1-to-1 ratio.
Yeah.
But then he literally had none like the last, 8 weeks of the season, and nobody talked about it.
Yeah.
And everybody's just like, oh, man, this is Patrick.
Well, then the moment they mention it, it's like when they fumbled the ball, like.
Yeah.
Never say it. You're putting it into like the ether.
They said something, and I'm like, oh great, now here comes commentator's curse.
Yep, it's a real thing, man.
Oh yeah, I mean, Tony Romo freaking.
I don't know, Jim.
He just irritates me. Like, he was all for the
Bills,
all over the Bills.
Yeah,
and I swear, towards the end of the game, Jim Nantz had a leading question where it almost forced Romo to say something good about the Chiefs, and he struggled. He just like,
you know what, man?
Yeah.
Like, I saw like Nate Bertelson said something like,
the whole hype thing. Yeah, don't.
Well, and it was like saying, to all the fan bases out there that hate, like, we are witnessing potentially the greatest team of all time.
Yeah, and that's including the Patriots, where they had the run that they went on.
But they've never did three Super Bowls in a row.
No.
Like, I mean, 5 and 6 years is more than Tom Brady did.
Yeah, and I don't even
think that span.
I don't even think they had a chance at 3 in a row. Ever. Like, they won 2 in a row.
They won 2.
So they obviously went for a 3 in a row, but I don't think I think they got bounced in like the first round of the playoffs,
and
or didn't even make the playoffs.
What is it, like, Mahomes has the second most like playoff wins in the NFL behind Tom Brady,
who has
half the time.
Yeah, but he also has granted, he has twice the amount of wins as Mahomes as well.
Still, I mean, I'd rather have, more playoff wins in half the time than most overall wins
or
ever.
Even more Super Bowls.
Yeah.
Or, this, same amount of Super Bowls.
And then I always remember, like, Troy Aikman said something about, like, talk to me when he has like a quarter of my Super Bowl appearances, and it's just like, okay, well he's met them now.
Yeah,
so
and surpassed it.
Yeah, and he has more wins than you now.
So Aikman, you want to keep talking? Horseface 2.0. Because Elway's Horseface.
Yeah, Elway's Horseface 1. He's OG.
Yeah, he's OG. Exactly. All right. So enough. I think that covers
sports ball.
Sports ball.
I got predictions for the big game.
I mean, ideally, the game's not going to be. We'll probably end up doing another.
Well, but
if we're going to record next week.
Still, I mean, we're coming fresh off of the championship games.
It's going to be tough to tell. I know Chiefs are favored at the beginning. Like already, like I checked it as soon as the game was over, and Vegas already had the freaking lines out there, and I think the Chiefs were already favored.
So my heart says Kansas City, but my brain says Philadelphia.
It's going to be tough for
either
sure.
way. I think it's going to be a 10-point lead or a 10-point win.
I think Chiefs figure out a way to
they
get it done.
Championship mentality, man. Like they've been there the most out of any team in the past 7 years.
I mean, and everybody's like, "Oh, we're trying to do it for Saquon," and the Eagles.
Yeah, cool.
Trying to get another one, and I'm like, the Chiefs are trying to, it may be Kelsey's last try at it, and the whole, and then you got why am I blanking on his name? The other wide receiver that we just pulled in, Hopkins. We pulled in Hopkins.
Yeah, who's never been there.
We brought Kareem Hunt back.
Yeah.
And, who got kicked
Xavier
off
Worthy
the team.
had a fucking game, dude. Worthy had a game.
Yeah. Where did these go? I'm going to pull up the lines.
Yeah, my heart wants Kansas City, but I'm just like, my brain's like, I don't know, man. I think Philadelphia's, they can't stop the run. Like, Kansas City cannot stop the run.
Yeah. But again, like, that's one of those things I just talk about.
But if that's their one-trick pony is Saquon, and they've got, the Chiefs have a decent running a game.
And this is one of those things, like, they were trying to talk about, I don't even think it was Colin that was talking about it. I think it was one of his co-hosts who was saying something about, like, oh, they have a tight end as well. And I was like, who?
Everyone does.
Everybody has a tight end. I mean, technically, the Chiefs have two. Like, Noah Gray is not
Noah Gray
bad.
is good. He's gonna replace Travis when he retires after this year.
I mean, he's not gonna ever be the same caliber as, but he's still solid. Chiefs are still favored by 1.5 right now. They're saying the over/under is gonna be 49.5.
I'd take the over.
I'm gonna take the over, or it's gonna be way under.
It's gonna be If it's not over, it's gonna be like 20-17.
Yeah, something like that. All right. Well, move on to.
How about a beer?
Yeah, I need to get that one. That
that's
did not end well.
Good beer to start off with, but it's got some funk.
Here, I know what I want to get into. Because I had this one for the last episode, we didn't get a chance to. Let's change glasses. So, how was Arizona, sir?
Man, it was so much fun. It was a bitch to come back to the cold.
I'm sure it was. I mean,
it was a bitch to get out there.
The picture you sent, you guys were all bundled up.
I mean, it was like 7 p.m. and it was 60 degrees.
Well, I mean, desert like it.
It's a dry cold.
It's a dry cold. What the fuck does that even mean?
No, it was fun. Steve kind of had an inkling the entire time.
Well, Steve's a smart man.
Steve's a smart man, and I love Lacey, but I think she kind of gave parts away because she bought like gluten-free food for Gina.
Damn it, Lacey! You ruined the surprise.
But he's like, I think I figured it out about a week or two ago. He's like, I kind of thought something was going on. And we're just like, well, whatever. You're surprised. We can tell you're surprised.
Like, we're going to take it as you were surprised. All right. So here we are. Next one. So this is one that I almost hope that you could try it. Convince Nolan to let you try it again. It's a black IPA.
Okay.
From Stockyards Brewing Company.
Okay.
I haven't had it in a while, but besides the black IPA that Nolan did years ago, this is the only other black IPA I'm like, okay, this is solid. It is 7%. So, proudly brewed in Kansas City. Cheers, sir.
Cheers.
Smells like a malty IPA.
Yes, it sure does. That's good.
Oh, yeah, that's so good. That's so solid.
But yeah, it was fun. Got there Thursday morning. Went to... Oh, what do we do? I think we got some breakfast.
Brekkie?
Got some brekkie. Hit up. I am officially at 15 breweries in the Phoenix area.
You've hit up 15 breweries. Nice.
So I'm averaging 5 a visit.
Wow, that's impressive.
Bless you.
Gesundheit. Science.
So we went to this really cool place that you would enjoy. It was called Cider Core, and it was like a military-owned.
Oh, nice.
And like each tap handle was like a different like grenade.
Oh, that's cool. Yeah. There's only so many different types of grenades.
Well, but it was a lot, and I'm just like, well, I didn't realize there were that many like.
I mean, over
styles
over the decades.
Yes.
But I mean, each grenade kind of has its own flair, if you will.
Yeah. Heyo. And then like the lamps, is like how we have the growlers
bottles. Yeah.
But it was like old like World War II helmets.
Oh, nice.
And I'm just like, that's fucking badass. Like Brian would love this place.
Yeah.
Like veteran owned, decent cider. It was all ciders.
Yeah.
And they were all pretty good.
With ciders.
Yeah,
as
they
well.
were good. They were,
Nice.
they had some dry ones. They had some sweet ones. They had this really cool, like wood fire pizza oven.
Oh, nice.
And I'm just like, fuck, I want a pizza. Like it smelled really good. The ones that were coming, I'm just like, damn, okay.
You got any lactose-free ones?
I would not care.
Yeah,
I would gladly destroy my gut for that.
Yeah, true. I can see that.
Yeah, went there. That was day one. My go-to spot is Wren House.
Yeah.
And I told myself going into this trip that I'm not coming back with any merch. No hats, no shirts, nothing.
How'd that go?
I nailed it.
Oh,
I fucking did it. And I'm just like, you know what? But I really wanted to because Gina's like, I bought all this stuff and blah, blah, blah. And I'm like, well, if you're it's like, God damn it, there's a really cool sweater that I want, but I don't need it, but I want it.
Yeah, I bought another Dixon, and I'm like, okay, I gotta take a break from buying Dixon, especially now having a new vehicle and another car payment.
Yeah,
I'm just like, yeah, money's gonna get tight again.
Yeah. What else did we do? We went out to. We were supposed to like camp over the weekend.
Oh yeah.
But like they had some dog sitters that fell through.
Oh.
So we're just like, okay, well, we'll just like fart around town and
that's kind of what Jen and I ended up.
Yeah.
Like, because I thought about trying to run somewhere Friday, but I didn't know, like, as far as her work schedule, how things were going to go. And so it just got to the point where I'm like, you know what? Let's just going to stay in town.
Just hang out. Yeah.
And do stuff that I've not done or not been to in a long time because I don't get a lot of free time to be able to go stuff. And that's a conversation we actually had of, it's like we don't ever really get to, like, go places.
So you went to the rec deck, right?
No, we didn't end up going to the rec deck. It looked like they had the rec deck closed. I didn't even bother about going up there.
I thought that's where you got all that stuff. Wow.
No, we were on the main.
Oh, cool.
Beer floor.
Cool.
But it was busy, and that was Saturday because like Friday she got home, and so we decided we did some distilleries on Friday. So we went to J. Rieger because I hadn't been there in a while and she hadn't been there at all. Come to find out, Jen really likes whiskey sours.
It's a damn good drink.
Yeah. No, it was good. And I had a horse feather, and then I did then I did their mule. This is their standard mule because I hadn't ever really had any Rieger vodka or.
I've never had their vodka either. I've just always
solid.
gravitated towards their brown.
Yeah. And I mean, a horse feather is basically a Kentucky mule, but you replace, instead of lime, you do lemon, and then you add bitters as well.
Yeah.
If you're not familiar with what a Kentucky mule is, it's basically just a Moscow mule, except for you replace
vodka
the vodka with whiskey.
Yeah.
But then horse feathers adding up a notch to it as well.
Yeah. Which was invented in Lawrence.
Yes, it was. Which is where Nigel and I went on Wednesday.
Yeah.
While you were going to pick up Grandma.
That was a good time.
For us. Yeah.
Did you guys just go there, or?
No, we just went to Lawrence, and so we parked. I ended up getting a $10 parking ticket because we never got the whole parking thing figured out.
You got a parking ticket.
Yeah. It's $10. So I'm like, okay, fine.
Fine.
Yeah. Because then we ended up being there. Like we just walked everywhere. Like we parked at one place. We went to it's a burger place. I'm blanking on the name of it, but everything was on Massachusetts Street. So we went to the burger place.
Yeah.
And then we went over to Merchants, which is in an old bank.
Was that the place that had Weebit?
Yes. Yeah.
Yeah.
So we had Weebit there. Each place we had a couple different drinks. Because then we got done with Merchants, and then we went up to Free State. And actually came across a dude. It was funny because there was this dude that came out the back, and he's wearing Carhartt overalls. I'm like, you look important. He's like, oh no, I'm not important. I just work here. I'm like, I call bullshit, sir. And then we started talking to him. Couldn't find out he's like the main brewer there, and it's been there for 19 years.
Holy shit.
Yeah. So
wow.
Nigel's like, I need to talk with you. So there's.
You want to be on a podcast?
Yeah. And he started to get him on the podcast.
That's awesome.
We ended up having a great conversation with the dude. I think his name was Ian or something like that. And then because actually the bartender that was there when we first got there, he's been there for 20 years.
Wow.
But he also does DJing. So he gave us one of his cards as well.
Wow.
And then on our way out we stopped by Lawrence Beer Co. as well.
Man, I need to fuck around in Lawrence, man. I've never really
Well, we were gonna try to go to Fields and Ivy, and we just kind of got to that point where all right, we're done.
It's time to go.
Yeah.
Yeah. Better than a 3-hour drive from Wichita.
Wichita, yeah.
Yikes.
Yeah.
Oof.
Did you have a? Oh yeah, like we did last year. Yeah. That was interesting for sure. But yeah, then Friday, so Jen and I, we went to J. Rieger, and then we went to Restless Spirits because I hadn't been. I hadn't been to Restless Spirits.
Cool.
And I almost thought about trying because not double shift. Cinder Block is right there.
Yeah.
But I'm just I don't want to try and cross stuff, and so we just went to Restless Spirits and actually bought a really nice bottle, and I got to try a sample of it too. It's good, but it was it's a whiskey. It was aged for 6 years in port barrels.
Ooh,
yeah.
Okay.
So that bottle, picture I sent you, it was aged in port barrels.
Oh, that sounds delicious.
Yeah. So maybe we'll get into that on the
1 year
episode.
Yeah.
Episode 54.
Boom, boom, boom.
Thought I had that. Yeah, I don't see it.
Yeah, it's fine. It's fine.
Why does that work? Oh, my button's not. There it goes. What the hell? It was working earlier because I had to. Nigel last Monday, borrowed the Rode.
The Rode.
Because we have the smaller Duo, and him and Nick wanted to give it a try for possible traveling podcasting.
Yeah.
And he kept forgetting to give it back to me. So I messaged Nigel earlier today. I'm like, are you still in town? Or because he had made a comment about possibly running out of town over the weekend. And he's like, oh, yeah, Nick has your thing. Here's his contact. So
you finally got that back today?
Uh-huh.
Oh my
so
God.
then I ran home and plugged it all in, made sure everything was good to go. And I wasn't concerned about Nick or Nigel messing it up, just making sure it was good for our settings.
But, just the fact that, for the past week, he's been like, oh, I forgot to give you your board back.
Yep. And even Wednesday, we talked about it on the way out to Lawrence. And then we got back and just all was forgotten. Saturday, Jen and I, we got up and I'm like, there's a couple places I haven't been to in a while or been to at all, and I wanted to try and take you and check them out. So we were gonna try and go to Legoland Discovery Center.
Oh,
and Sea Life, the aquarium
at the Crown Center, right?
At Crown Center, yeah.
Yeah.
So we walk in.
Haven't been to either of those places.
Well, sorry, you're gonna have to only go special times for Legoland because you can't go as an adult.
That's fucked up.
You have to have somebody under 17. I tried to make the joke. I'm like, she's short.
Do you have to prove they're under 17? Like, that seems weird.
Because that's what I thought. Like, because if I took my younger son, he's 17.
Yeah.
He does not look 17.
Yeah.
So if I took him,
they'd be like, are you sure?
Like, check his ID. Says he's 17. Fuck off. I'm going to go enjoy Legos. Lego. Yeah. Lego.
So you can't go to the Legoland, but can you go to
the store?
The Lego store?
Yeah, because
itself?
the store, both the exhibits, like they have a shared space. Obviously, there's a divider between them.
Right.
But then the store area is shared between both places.
Yeah.
And so, like, when you check out from one, it's all checked out through the Lego side.
Right.
Basically. And they don't have as much aquarium stuff as they do Lego stuff.
Which is
obviously.
I mean, but
kind of obvious to me.
You should put your money into the aquarium, though. Like,
you would think. I mean, we still enjoy the aquarium. But then we went over and we walked around Crown Center for a little bit. And then we walked over to the Union Station, and it was fucking packed because it was the day before the Chiefs game.
Yep.
And there was a bunch of Bills people walking around, too.
Yep.
Because, like, all those pictures you see out in front of the, Chiefs Kingdom signs or whatever that people take the pictures of. There was, like, a line that was probably 50 people deep on that thing.
Wow.
And, like, Jen and I were, like, we were getting hungry because we hadn't even eaten breakfast yet or anything.
Yeah.
And by this point, it was already just afternoon.
Would you go over to Harvey's?
No, so we ended up walking. Well, we were doing the Skylink.
Oh, yeah.
And went back over to Crown Center.
To the Westin.
And ate at Burn Inn Barbecue.
Oh, nice.
Because there's a Burn Inn Barbecue there in Crown Center now. It used to be a nicer restaurant.
Yeah,
It's that, like, glass-covered one.
Yep.
Right at the front.
Yeah.
Next to the entrance. It's Burn Inn Barbecue now. And they were fucking swamped.
There was
one bartender in, like...
Oh, that poor bastard.
She was working her ass off. And there's this one guy that really pissed me and Jen off.
No.
Because I almost thought he was a manager at first. Because just the lack of work he was doing. But, like, there were, like, 4 servers probably total. And then the bartender. Well, the bartender was basically helping with a lot of the tables that were around the bar as well.
Like going out behind the bar. And,
like there's certain times where she was outside of the bar more than she was inside the bar.
Wow.
Like I almost want to jump back there and be like, you want me to clean like all these glasses that are piling up?
I can help. Trust me.
Man, this one dude pissed Jen and I off though, and I had to tell Jen, I'm like, just let it go. And she ended up talking to the bartender about it. But the first thing that irked me about this dude was he was wearing one of those neck fan things.
What a dick.
I'm like, that just has a bad look to it.
It really does.
I mean, like, I get it, but, like, it has a bad look to it. But, like, the more we watched him, like, the more we realized he really wasn't doing anything that warranted even needing it.
He was not moving around at all.
No. Like, there was, like, one time, like, because we sat at the bar, and, like, I always like to try to sit where I can see more things.
Same.
Part of my military background, too, or, like, okay, I don't want my back to this. I don't want to be, here. You'll be able to see stuff, right? And he walked over to a table that had just cleared out. I say just cleared out. It was, like, 10 to 15 minutes prior to anybody else walking over there to start cleaning off the table. And he grabbed 2 glasses and brought them to the bar. That was 6 feet away. And then disappeared for 10 minutes.
Were there more glasses on the table?
Yes.
Oh, so he did the bare minimum.
I got 2 hands. I got 2 glasses.
This is the most I can do right now.
Exactly. And then, like I said, he disappeared. And, like, Jen and I we wanted to lay into this dude.
What a bitch-ass motherfucker.
Yeah. And then, like, Jen ended up saying something to the bartender. She's like, is he, like as slow as he looks? Because that motherfucker has pissed me off. And, like, the look on the bartender's face said everything. She was very sweet about it.
She's like, no, this is fine.
But she just kind of like gave us like this nervous like look and laugh, and I'm like, that your face says it all.
The silence speaks.
Yes,
multitude.
Your silence is deafening.
Yeah. Good Lord.
And then I took her to Brown's Irish Market because she'd never been to Brown's Irish Market either.
Where is that? I've never been there either.
Brown's Irish Market is actually one of the oldest businesses in Kansas City.
No shit.
It's over 130 years old.
Wow.
Yeah. So it's right over there by Penn Valley MCC.
Oh, okay, cool.
Like
I know
exactly
on the
where that is. South side of it. It's an old building, and they like live in the upstairs portion of it.
Wow.
And like, we walked into it, and she's kind of looking around, cool. And I'm like, well, do you want to go check out the rest? She's like, there's more, because there's like one room that's probably about the size of my basement, maybe a little bit longer than the basement. And she's like, man, there's a lot of stuff in here. I'm like, there's other rooms, and she's like, there is. I'm like, yeah, let's go up the stairs right here. And they have like 6 rooms. Like all these spaces are just connected to each other. And she's like, we got done. She's like, I'm like, come on, faster than I expected it to. I'm like, you want to walk through it again? She's like, yes, please. And then all of a sudden she found other stuff she missed the first time. And let me see, where else did we do? So we did Brands. We went to Sea Life, Crown Center. Then she's like, I've been really wanting to go to a mall. So I took her to Oak Park Mall.
Oh my God. Wow.
Yeah. And she's like, yeah, I'm over it now. She's like, malls aren't the same. I'm like, they are not the same than when we were kids.
No.
Malls are not the same.
No. I'm sure like half of it was closed. Like
there was a handful of stores that were closed.
Yeah.
That one's surprisingly still.
I know, it's crazy.
Fairly busy.
Yeah.
Like
I grew up going to that mall.
Yeah, I wasn't gonna take her to Independence Center.
Ain't shit there.
No, there really isn't.
Just sad, broken dreams.
Yeah. I mean, the only store that might still be open, major store, is probably Dillard's is still. The Dick's.
Oh, so Dillard's is still around?
Yeah, because the Dillard's, actually even the Macy's at Oak Park Mall is still open.
Yeah.
And then we were having a joking conversation about that. I was like, well, who's going to do the Thanksgiving Day Parade if all the Macy's close? Going to be called the Amazon Thanksgiving Day Parade?
Yeah, probably.
Probably.
Yeah. The Jeff Bezos.
Parade. And then I took her to Cinzetti's for dinner.
Oh, yeah. Oh, man. Did you guys get some cannoli?
Oh, she loves freaking cannolis.
Yeah, love them.
I did like the bread pudding.
Oh, yeah.
Because I love that bread pudding.
Oh, God. Cinzetti's. Wow.
Because I tried to take her and her kids several weeks ago, and I said, oh, it's Italian buffet. And apparently they got turned off at the idea of a buffet.
Oh, fuck off. Like, I will go hard on an Italian buffet.
But they thought it was going to be like old country buffet style.
Yeah.
Which, okay, I get.
Yeah, that shit's gross.
But it literally, like, when you look at the sign, it says Cinzetti's, an Italian feast.
Yeah.
I'm like, okay, that's
good. That's good marketing.
Yes, because it is a buffet, but it is still really nice. And Jen, she's like, this is amazing.
It's pretty fucking good.
She's like, I'm struggling with the sauce on the spaghetti though. I'm like, babe, we use ragu for our spaghetti. She's like, okay, so this is probably better sauce. I'm like, probably.
Yeah, they at least add like stuff to it.
Yeah. I mean, she makes great spaghetti, and we've done meatballs and the Italian sausage with it and stuff too. But yeah. And then Sunday, I didn't do shit because my back was in so much pain.
Ugh, that sucks.
So I went to the chiropractor today.
Wow.
So yeah, I'm sure there's some other things in there missing, but
yep, same. We went on the boat yesterday, and like his engine started overheating.
Uh-oh.
So we were like,
turn it around.
Like quasi in the middle of this lake that's like, 27,000 like square feet, but like it's huge. It's like 10 times the size of like Longview. And we're just like, we'll
wrong button.
We'll let it cool off, and if need be, at least we have a trolling motor.
Yeah, it'll take us
5 hours.
3 hours later.
Yeah. We attempted fishing, didn't catch a goddamn thing. It was fun though.
Yeah, there's a lot of fish in there.
There's a lot of bass, catfish. What else?
Aren't you supposed to use hot dogs to catch catfish?
I threw bananas in there. Didn't really help, but I tried.
Are catfish vegans?
They'll eat whatever.
Well, I mean, kind of. They're bottom feeders, right?
Yeah.
All right.
We went to the outdoor museum in Mesa. That's where we saw the dinosaurs.
The one that looked like it was taking a dump?
T-Rex, man. Put some respect on the name, all right?
Oh, I'm not saying there's none, but he literally looked like he was squatting trying to take a shit.
It was a bad angle. It was a bad angle.
Well, who took the picture?
Me.
All right.
I'll own up.
Okay. Did you like my response to that?
Yeah.
The dinosaur, he dropped his jaw and tried to pick it up.
They had like a little placard. They're like, no one knows why the T-Rex had such tiny arms.
Because God said, watch this. It's like, I'm going to give this apex predator, make it the most dangerous creature known to man. I'm going to give it the smallest arms possible.
Yeah, it was an outdoor museum, which was really fucking cool. Went to a speakeasy afterwards.
How easy was that speaking?
It was pretty tough, actually.
Did you have the right passcode?
No, I couldn't understand the language. No, but it was a good time, man. It was Arizona's cool.
Yeah. I half contemplated. I'm like, fuck it, let's just go down there too.
It's affordable.
Yeah. But then and part of it, my logic on that too, is Jen and I have gotten into, we try, just because our schedules are so hectic.
Yeah.
I came across this thing online. They call it like the 2-2-2 rule. So like every 2 weeks you should be doing a date night.
Yeah.
Every 2 months you should be doing like a weekend trip, whatever.
Yeah.
Right. And every 2 years you should be doing like a
big trip.
Like a big trip. Yeah.
Yeah.
Like a vacation. So like,
I like that.
Technically, like we should have this month, because we did a couple months ago. When we went, we went to Buffalo Trace the one time, and then a couple months ago, it was just up to St. Joe, but it was a little getaway where we were able to spend more time together.
Yeah.
Even though, yes, I was still playing cornhole, and she was up there supporting me. And I thought about going and playing cornhole this weekend, and I'm just like, I don't want to do it this weekend.
Yeah.
And so I was trying to figure out other stuff, and that's why I just determined, like, you know what, let's just, because there's been a lot of money going in and out lately.
Just keep it local.
Like, let's just stay local. I'd much rather spend the money here right now.
Yeah.
But we're saving money on, like, a hotel or whatever, Airbnb, what have you. So, and I'm like, we'll figure out something in another couple months, see where we're at finance-wise.
Yeah.
Go from there. So.
Well, we're planning on going to Italy for our honeymoon.
Yeah.
In May.
Okay. I'm trying to think, because I know like I do plan on taking some time off. I do want to go play in a local cornhole tournament in February. Actually, there's a couple that I know people want me to try and go to as well, but I obviously can't take every freaking weekend off.
Yeah.
But there's like an ACL regional coming up, and then Thomas, the guy who has done our cornhole boards, and we've done a lot of other stuff with. He always does a big birthday bash thing at the last couple of years. He's done it up at Outlaw Brewery, and because he's friends with Outlaw up there as well. Yeah, and it's a cigar bar as well. And so he's doing his in March, so I might be trying to take that day off. Yeah. I'm almost contemplating, because if I take that February time off, I might as well just take Super Bowl Sunday off as well. We need to figure out what we're going to do Super Bowl Sunday, because I know the last one we closed early.
I'd imagine it's going to happen again.
It might as well.
Like, no one's going to be there after 4 o'clock.
No. And I'd rather not be there after 4 o'clock either.
Yeah. I mean, what? It's 10, noon on Sundays?
The football game?
No, what time do you open? I don't even know.
Oh, noon.
Noon. Okay.
Yeah.
So, work 4 hours and then fuck off. Just go home.
We might as well. I don't know. Here, let's...
How about a beer?
And then one of these.
Yeah. Cheers, sir. So,
cheers.
I already got into it because...
What are we drinking here, Brian?
This is actually one that I had up at Boulevard the other day. It's a Kriek. So a Kriek is a wild age, like, sour. It's basically like a lambic.
Ooh, that is sour.
It's tort, yes. It is called Aronia Berry Kriek. Wild ale aged in French oak.
Damn.
So it's tart berry forward and French oaked.
That's really good.
And made in partnership with Pal Gardens. Huh. So yeah. So a Kriek is something I had a couple years ago, Abita had one.
Yeah.
That they called Cypress Creek.
Yeah.
That I really liked, but a lot of people in Kriek, like I was doing some research on it, and it's a style that's kind of dying off.
Yeah.
It's hard to find anybody to actually do it. I think when most people do it, they usually just do a lambic.
Okay.
Which is a fruited sour.
Yeah.
As well. But the Kriek is supposed to be more of a, wild fermentation.
So we went to it's called Pedal House.
Uh-huh.
And it was, they say they're the most awarded true to style brewery in Arizona.
Okay.
And their tap list it reminded me a lot of Transparent.
Yeah.
It was like they had a Pilsner, they had a lager, they had a Kolsch, they had a hazy, they had a regular pale ale, they had a blonde, they had a stout, they had a BA stout, they had it was awesome. And it was only like 12 beers, so it was like very similar to what we do.
Yeah.
And like that may have been like, obviously I love like Wren House, but like out of the ones that we visited, I'm just like, wow, these beers are killer.
Yeah. Then that's kind of like whenever I was going down to Springfield, Hold Fast and Wire Road. Two. And there, I know people like, oh, I love Mother's. I'm like, there's only like
good
2 beers I really like from Mother's.
I love their coffee stout,
3 Blind Mice, and the Matafamilias.
Yeah.
Which used to be the MILF one.
Yeah.
They renamed it because of
MILF.
PC.
Yeah. Me.
And even that one I can kind of take or not. I'm fine with it.
Yeah. Now this is a very like blueberry.
Yeah.
Like forward.
So no,
and the
it's
color
good,
is wild.
Jen came across this one. So the quirks, and we've all been kind of the quirks.
Yeah.
There's a couple that are okay to me. Like the cherry blossom one's okay. There's one other one like it's all right. So apparently they started doing cork tails as well. So instead of the flings, which the flings, I think they only have like the 3 flavors of the flings now. I think it's just the 3 flavors that have even ever really sold.
Yeah.
But they have cork tails. And we got her a couple different flavors. She only had one in the tap room. But it's a cherry sour. Like
a whiskey sour?
Like a whiskey.
Cherry?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Or I can't. No, it was a lemon drop. Sorry.
Oh, okay.
But it was it was like a cherry lemon drop.
Oh.
And then they had a couple other flavors that we got from their downstairs area because you could buy single bottles of stuff.
Yeah.
And so we got the other flavors as well. And she's like, "This is really good."
And you can only get them there.
I don't recall. Like I asked them, like, "How long have you guys been doing because they didn't label it as a cork tail.
Yeah.
They just labeled it as a lemon drop.
Yeah.
Like on their board because they write the names up on the boards as well, except for like their main, flagship ones.
Yeah.
I asked the guy, I'm like, how long have you been doing that? And he's like, about a year. I'm like, you have?
Wow.
I'm like, I don't ever recall seeing anything like that.
Huh.
And they got 3 different flavors.
Huh.
So I'm just like, okay. It was solid. So yeah, like that whole picture we sent out, like all 3 glasses kind of had similar colors.
Yeah, they did. Yeah.
I'm just like, whatever. I've kind of really gotten malted out. Oh, then that's right. Saturday night we also hung out with my buddy Packer for a little bit. Shout out to John. He admitted he hasn't listened to in a while.
So did Steve.
Yeah, I believe it.
God damn it, Steve.
Motherfuckers. Thank you to all those who continuously listen to us.
Except for not John and Steve.
Yeah, except for John and Steve.
Assholes.
Who won't send us fan mail or private text messages to confirm if they've heard us or not.
Well, Steve's just like, I haven't listened to your guys' podcast in a while. It's like, that's fine. Like,
John said the same thing. I mean, we're still getting listenership. So
yeah.
I mean, we need about 10 times the amount of what we've been getting.
Motherfuckers.
Just to
try to make some money.
Get up to the monetization aspect from Buzzsprout. I mean, it'll include ads, but we want to try and grow this thing as well.
Phrasing.
There it is. Yeah. All right.
I hit the right button this time.
Yeah, you did. So, is there anything else?
So I watched a movie for the first time that I had not seen.
Oh, yeah?
Bohemian Rhapsody.
Oh, yeah.
It was good.
I haven't watched that one yet because a lot of that stuff came out about the same time. Because like Bohemian Rhapsody and Rocket Man, and then there was another one that came out. Like, they all came out within, like, the same year.
Yeah.
And I wanted to go see them, but I had originally wanted to go see them with my father.
Yeah.
Who then, ended up passing away. And then
Yeah.
I'm just like, man, I don't care anymore.
Yeah.
I still really want to see Rocket Man, though.
Yeah, me too. Because who plays Elton John in that movie?
Taron Egerton.
Yeah.
And who plays, if you've ever watched Kingsman.
Yeah.
He's
yeah.
the main guy in Kingsman. And actually, one of the ways he got that role, which actually he looks really good for Elton John as well. But he was on Sing, the animated movie.
Yeah.
Singing Elton John's songs. And Elton's like, that guy.
That's the guy.
That's the guy.
No, it was a good movie, man. I enjoyed it.
Yeah.
There was parts I'm just like, well, this is clearly like,
Well, I know.
you know.
The only scene I remember seeing is where Mike Myers' character, he's talking about, the song goes on for bloody ever. 7 minutes. And then he's like, sorry if 7 minutes, I feel sorry for your wife if 7 minutes is a long time.
Yeah. It's just so funny that he plays that role considering that, he was in,
Yeah.
like Wayne's World.
Wayne's World
and
doing
they
that.
made that like song popular again.
Yeah, exactly. And I mean, you can't hear that song without thinking Wayne's World. If you grew up in our generation of having watched that stuff. Like, my kids probably have no idea what the fuck I would even be talking about.
Yeah. Yeah, it's a good movie. We also watched Twisters.
Yeah, Jen and I watched Twisters a couple weeks ago.
Dude, it's entertaining as hell.
I mean, it's way different than the original, but no, it was solid.
Like, I enjoyed it a lot.
Yeah.
But I'm also just like, I feel like Twister, the first one.
Yeah.
Like, I felt like the tornado was more of a character
Yes.
in the movie,
I mean,
and
no,
not
and
so
here
much
it
just
wasn't,
like an anchoring point.
Yeah, it really did seem like, we're in this town where a bunch of tornadoes are gonna pop up.
Yeah, like that's not how this works,
No.
by the way.
No.
But it was good. It was solid. I enjoyed it.
I thought Glenn Powell's character was gonna be way more of a douche than he actually ended up being.
Same.
So I was like, okay, cool, like kind of redemption, and I kind of realized it after, spoilers, but like not completely, but like when her friends are in the diner with the investor guy.
Oh yeah.
I'm just like, I see where this is going.
Yep. Same. I smelled that out a mile away.
Yeah. As soon as I saw that, I'm like, I already know what's happening. Jen's like, what's happening? I'm like, it's the whole thing.
Yep. No, it was good. It was good.
Yeah.
But it's just so funny to be like, growing up in Tornado Alley.
Yeah.
And like,
they don't just come out of fucking. I mean, they come out of nowhere.
Yeah, they can.
Not all the time.
Like, but so much of it is just like Hollywood bullshit.
Oh, yeah.
You know, it's like, all these people are gonna die. Like,
Well, and that's the thing. Like they always, people that move to this area always end up joking about. It's
where's the tornadoes?
It's like, the people that have lived here for, moved here now, have lived here for a decade. They're like, I really thought tornadoes were going to be a way bigger deal than they actually are.
Yeah.
But that's
No.
like always that one fear when you're a kid. Like, I can't close my eyes at the pool because a shark might get me.
Yeah.
That's impossible.
Like, you have a higher chance of, living in Florida and getting hit with a hurricane than you do in, like, this area getting hit by a tornado.
by a nader.
By a nader.
Yeah.
One of them twisters. One of them twisters.
Yeah. I wish there would have been a little bit more shout out to the original Twister people, but
Yeah. I mean, there were a lot of references.
there was a lot of references.
A lot of references.
But no direct not communication, but like tie-ins with any of the
Because I could have sworn
original
that
characters.
I could have sworn that she was like the daughter,
I thought she was going to be as well, yeah. But nope.
and there was no, like, it was, they showed Dorothy.
Yeah.
You
I mean,
know,
like, first scene, it's like,
It's
oh my God,
yeah,
it's Dorothy.
Like, there's like references to like Ice-T and stuff. You
Yeah.
know, like just like,
Yeah. But you know what movie I recently watched that we kind of joked about? It was the Unfrosted movie. So it's supposed to be the story of how Pop-Tart got...
Oh, the Jerry Seinfeld.
The Jerry Seinfeld one?
Yeah, yeah.
It was a ridiculous movie.
That sounds dumb as hell.
It pretty much was dumb. Entertaining in its own right because it's a completely fictitious story. To where they even do like the Romeo and Juliet thing where it's Amy Schumer, who I really can't stand. She's like the owner of Post. And then Jim Gaffigan is the owner of Kellogg. Well, they do like this whole Romeo and Juliet thing almost. Because it's their family's businesses.
It's so dumb.
Because her last name is Post and his last name's Kellogg. And so like there's entertaining aspects of it. But at the same time, it was a completely ridiculous movie. Like there's this whole portion of the milk the milk industry has like this secret stranglehold on the cereal companies that you can't go against the milk companies because then the milk guys will get after you.
I mean,
and there's a whole storyline of the very first person who even discovered what milk was. His name was Milky, and that's how they came up with the name. And he tried to go against the milk business and they made him disappear. And so he was the very first person that ever ended up on the side of a milk carton.
That's bad.
It really is.
That's bad.
And, I mean,
like, and here's Jerry Seinfeld complaining about like there's no original comedy anymore.
They were trying to be original and there's a ton of stars in it.
Of course, because no one else is going to, like, you're not going to get like some features off of SNL to do this shit.
No, I think that he probably called in every single favor he's ever had to make that movie.
I can't stand his stance on comedy now.
Yeah, I mean, so it was worth a watch, but not one of those movies that I will go back and rewatch.
Yeah. We watched Timothy Chalamet host SNL. And it's fucking hilarious.
See, that's like somebody.
It's the third time he's hosted.
I've been torn on him as an actor.
His comedy chops are they good? Okay. They're really good. When he's just like uninhibited and doesn't care.
Yeah.
It's so good. And he also he's the first host/musical guest because, he was in that Bob Dylan biop.
Oh, so he did the music part too?
He did. Okay. He played I use this term loosely, played Bob Dylan songs. Wherein he had a guitar around his neck and strummed a couple chords.
That shit.
Everyone else, he had a backing band that played harmonica and this, that, the other, but it's good. He's funny as fuck, dude.
All right. Well, fair enough.
Watch it.
Okay.
It's on YouTube.
Oh, is it? Okay. Are you talking about this SNL?
Yeah.
Oh, well, I mean, I can watch the SNLs on Peacock as well.
Peacock, yeah.
So, well, I think we should probably go ahead and get this wrapped up.
We should.
And just because that way we can stay within our allotted time frame, too.
We should, yeah.
Thank you guys for always coming out and hanging out with us and listening to us. Really do appreciate it.
Next one's going to be episode
50 Quattro.
5011.
Not quite yet.
Well, yeah.
Hopefully we get up to 5011 at some point. But we will do better next time, as we always like to say.
We're always a podcast in progress.
It's always in progress. And we appreciate the fuck out of you guys.
Goddamn right.
All right. Cheers, everybody.
Peace.
Deuces.